I always double check everything with AI. Like at the beginning of the year, I just go over my investment strategy. So I was like, okay, what companies have the highest percentage chance of increasing over the next 10 years? And I'm like, okay, now what companies have the highest risk within that? Which companies have the lowest risk in that? It's like, okay, the obvious, the tech companies, right? The NVIDIA, the TSMs of the world, Microsoft. And then I'll say, okay, well, given a little bit more, like, how do you feel about Bitcoin? Like, I just kind of spar with it. And so it's like, for me, that's why I'm like, okay, I'm invested in the Bitcoin space. So it's like, okay, I got the exposure to Bitcoin. I'm gonna have the exposure to NVIDIA because I do believe that artificial intelligence is only gonna get bigger. They're currently the leader in this space. So if that theory pans out, then they're gonna survive it. TSM, they're going to be good as well. Okay, you have to factor in geopolitical aspect when it comes to China. That's their Achilles heel. So maybe, you don't put your whole everything in there, but just keep that in mind. But then you look, okay, what's the safest bet? The safest bet is probably Microsoft. Then you start to look down the line and say, okay, well, where does gold come into play here? So you have your singular plays, and then you have your safety net with the index fund. And then for me, like, I like QQQ because I feel like that's technically not an index fund, it's an ETF. And if the theory holds correct, that technology will only advance even further and that the top tech companies will dominate the world, then even if you get one wrong on an individual side, QQQ is gonna have all of them in there anyway. So you go from here, individual, to the ETF, and then you get the wider spectrum of the index fund. Everybody's got their own theory. That's how I play it, is like narrow, medium, wide. I look at it like lake, river, ocean. Yeah. Right? And then the ocean is the index fund, the S&P 500, because it's like, if all else fails, that's almost the entirety of the stock market. So you're going to be good with that.